Hello, my name is Rich, and this is an innovation proposal for hands-free fire safety inspections using smart glasses and Neuroband. The goal is simple. It's to reduce documentation friction without increasing risk. Instead of stopping inspections to write notes and take photos, inspectors capture structured evidence as they move while maintaining governance, defensibility, and public records readiness. This proposal is grounded in real inspection workflows, validated stakeholder interviews, and the practical constraints of municipal fire prevention programs. Here's the roadmap for the next 10 minutes. I'll start with the problem and validated pain, basically who it affects and what it costs. Then I'll walk through the innovation, how smart glasses and neuroband capture change change the innovation, the inspection workflow, and I'll compare this approach to existing alternatives and explain the differentiation. From there, I'll cover the target customer segment, adoption channels, and pricing hypothesis, followed by capital needs, timeline, and then go-to pilot plan. I'll work with I'll close with key learnings from stakeholder interviews and the remaining open questions. The core problem isn't the inspection, it's actually the documentation. During inspections, inspectors' hands are busy and note-taking breaks the walkthrough, slowing the process and introducing gaps. For fire marshal leadership, inconsistent documentation increases liability and weakens defensibility. Legal records and IT teams carry the burden of retention, security, and public records compliance, while property owners are left with unclear findings that drive rework and disputes. This pain is most acute in high-stakes occupancies, such as assembly spaces, high-rise buildings, and hazardous materials facilities, where inspections range from a quick check to hours-long walkthroughs. Across all of them, the bottleneck isn't the inspection itself, it's the documentation and the report writing that follow. We validated the problem and solution direction through 10 stakeholder interviews. The same themes came up repeatedly: consistency, efficiency, public records readiness, and IT security, with IT and security concerns mentioned in every interview. These conversations reshaped the approach. Adoption isn't about hardware, it's about governance. Artificial intelligence must be assistive, not autonomous, with the inspector as the verification and accuracy gate. Integration is non-negotiable. Records must land in their system of record, not live outside of it. And because there's no labor memorandum of understanding that exists today, labor and governance considerations have to be addressed early, not after deployment. Locally, this is especially urgent as Spokane Fire Marshal's office transitions from Acela to Llama, both records repository programs that make records compliance a hard constraint, not a future enhancement. The solution shifts inspections from stop and document to hands-free, event-based captures. Instead of breaking the walkthrough, inspectors use smart glasses to capture photos or videos with optional voice notes. That evidence is automatically structured, tagged to location, and code referenced before anything is published. The inspector remains the accuracy gate, verifying and editing findings before finalizing the record. Once approved, evidence and reports export directly into Llama with a full audit log. Governance is built in from the start. Capture only when triggered, restricted zones, retention controls, redaction, and immutable audit trail, thus ensuring defensibility and public records readiness without changing how inspectors do their job. The value shows up differently for each stakeholder, but it's still aligned. For the authority having jurisdiction, this means more consistent documentation, stronger defensibility through an audit trail, and fewer disputes or re-inspections. For inspectors and the fire marshal's office, it's hands-free capture during a walkthrough, less after-hours report writing, and standardized prompts that improve consistency without slowing inspections down. For property owners, findings are clearer and tied directly to evidence, thus reducing follow-up questions, speeding closeouts, and improving communication with contractors. We'll measure success through pilot key performance indicators, reducing post-inspection report time by 25 to 40%, improving documentation completeness, lowering rework from missing notes or photos, and speeding evidence retrieval for public records requests. We looked closely at existing alternatives to make sure this isn't just another camera. Clipboards and phone photos aren't hands-free. They produce low-quality evidence structure and rely on manual export. Tablet inspection apps improve structure somewhat, but still interrupt the walkthrough and only partially solve the problem. And body cameras are hands-free, but introduce significant governance, privacy, and records risk, and still require manual handling. What differentiates this proposal is that it combines hands-free capture with high-quality evidence structure, built-in governance, and native export to Llama. Stakeholders consistently prioritize defensibility, IT security, and records readiness. And this solution is designed around those requirements, not added on later. Our first target customers are municipal fire marshals' offices and inspection bureaus with high documentation stakes. These are jurisdictions inspecting assembly spaces, high rises, and hazardous materials occupancies, where documentation quality directly affects liability, public trust, and enforcement outcomes. They also have an immediate need to integrate with Llama as a system of record. The core customer is the program or fire marshal, someone accountable for consistency, legal defensibility, and records compliance, not just field efficiency. Uh, the need uh, they need IT and legal buy-in, clear records policy, and measurable improvements without introducing surveillance optics. We position this as governed, hands-free evidence for defensible inspections, reaching customers through fire marshal leadership, inspection software partners, state fire marshal channels, and grants. Our pricing hypothesis is grounded in public record budget reality and procurement constraints. Based on early evidence, agencies are comfortable with a hardware budget in the $900 to $1,000 range per inspector, assuming shared or rotating support. Software pricing still needs validation, but it will likely be per seat or per inspection. Because procurement requires low risk before a full adoption, the entry point is a 90-day pilot. The pilot supports 3 to 5 inspectors, uses event-based capture with restricted zones, and measures concrete outcomes. Thus, the reducing time and reporting completeness increases, and dispute or rework reduction follows. The deliverables are tangible. A Llama export prototype, a governance policy package, and a clear go, no-go decision with IT and legal leadership at 90 days. The capital required to reach a pilot and first deployment is modest and mostly non-hardware. Devices for the 3 to 5 inspectors pilot are roughly $1,000 each. The larger investment is software, basically capture, tagging, review, audit logging, and the governance work around the security, the retention, redaction, and the access controls, plus training and legal reviews. Our timeline is structured in 90 days. The first 30 days focus on governance and requirements for key performance indicators. Days 30 to 60 deliver the most valuable part, which are capture, tagging, review, and audit logging. By day 90, we have a Llama export prototype, completed security review, and trained users. From there, the final decision point is pilot rollout and iterate phase leading to version 1 deployment decision. The defensible advantage here isn't patents, it's trust, governance, and integration. Primary protection comes from building governance directly into the workflow, restricting capture zones, retention and redaction controls, and a complete audit trail. Integration is deep, not superficial, with tight alignment with Llama workflows, templates, and evidence mapping makes this hard to replace. Speed also matters. Early pilots and references within the fire service network create practical barriers to entry, and we manage adoption risk directly by addressing labor concerns upfront, thus clearly defining not surveillance limits in policy even before a formal MOU exists. There are three clear learnings from the interviews. The first one is defensibility and security are a primary must-have, and everything else follows. Second, records handling and privacy policies or privacy optics directly determine adoption of policy. And third, artificial intelligence must remain advisory with the inspector fully accountable. Integration into Llama isn't optional, it's mandatory. What remains to be proven is execution. We need to validate pricing through interviews with decision makers, pressure test governance with legal, records, and IT, and confirm accuracy thresholds and address labor risks early with clear non-surveillance limits. The next step is simple. Approve a 30-day governance first pilot with measurable key performance indicators to answer these questions before scaling. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.